Hello, today for the second part of the project, I will talk about how will the Microsoft Office suite be useful in a business career, more concentrated on PowerPoint and Access. As said in the first video, the Office suite is all around the business sector. According to an article of Tech Republic, about 83% of businesses in Canada, United States, United Kingdoms use Microsoft Office. With this in mind, we can easily say that being able to work with Microsoft Office is an important skill to acquire in the business field. In the future, I want to work in accounting. Even if we know that other important accounting software are the main tools used, PowerPoint and Access are used a lot. I will elaborate more on the specific uses of Excel and PowerPoint in my future career. Let's start with Access and its uses in business. Nowadays, almost every company uses databases to store information about their suppliers, customers, and employees. Microsoft Office being used by about 83% of Canadian companies, Access becomes a must-have in terms of knowledge and abilities to acquire in order to work in the business field. This software is probably the less accessible for everyone to use in the Microsoft Office suite because it is complex and it requires a bit of knowledge to be able to use it appropriately. Also, since it is more specialized, it is not the kind of software like Word and PowerPoint that we start using early for studying purposes or personal use. However, it is probably the most powerful of the Microsoft Office suite softwares. It can interconnect every information entered in the table together and allows the user to create forms, reports, and queries in order to gather the data needed for a given task. In accounting and finance, being able to put all the data needed in the same place is very useful because it saves a lot of time and money. Every feature of Access has important value and is uses to know about to work in the business field. For the sake of this project, although I will focus on two modules, which are Module 5, Multiple Table Forms, and Module 6, Advanced Report Techniques. For multiple table forms, the topic of forms and subform, which is addressed in Module 5 of the book, it is very useful to keep track of transactions or accounts that are related to another form. Indeed, if we're looking at a company that sells goods and the accountant wants to know more about the performance of its salesperson, it could create a subform that also indicates the number of sales and the products sold by this person. This gives a pretty good idea of what was sold the most given within a given period and by whom. Moreover, this module shows how to add and integrate an external file, such as an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document, and put it into a form. This function can be very useful to use external data like sales report and connect it with forms containing employee information or client information. Here we are talking about a job in accounting and finance, but it really is practical for any branch of business activity because it gives access more quickly to information that could be very useful. Advanced Report Techniques. This module of the book, which is Module 6, provides very useful information for someone working with Access in the business field, especially in accounting. Indeed, the most important topics addressed in this module are, in my opinion, the addition of totals and subtotals to a report, and the inclusion of conditional values in a report. By being able to add totals and subtotals to a report, this gives the opportunity to the user of the database to create financial statements directly in Access, based on the information from the tables created. The other function that is very useful in this module is the inclusion of conditional values. For example, to add or deduct a given value depending on another variable. For example, if I would decide to give a bonus to all employees who reported more than $100,000 in sales in the last year, I could include a conditional value in the report, which would adjust the bonus depending on the amount of sales made by a given employee. This makes the task a lot simpler and quicker, which facilitates the task for the accounting, allowing him to concentrate on more important things. In conclusion, since Access is the most used database software worldwide, it is a crucial skill to acquire when working in the business field. Moreover, even if the software might seem a little more complex than the other Microsoft Office softwares, it is the easiest database system available on the market. Finally, once you learn the basics of the software, it gives you an advantage in the business sector, in which knowledge on database is increasingly important with the digitalization of most documents and the decreasing use of written records. Now let's look at PowerPoint and its uses in business. According to infographic design team, there are more than 500 million PowerPoint users, which makes it a very important platform of presentation used all around the world. In the business field, presentations are common. It can be done for a meeting with employees, a proposal to potential clients, or a presentation to potential investors. This software then provides a way to create attractive and useful presentation to visually support arguments and data that is provided to the audience. In accounting and finance, PowerPoint can be used to present visually the financial position of a given company or a budget for a future project to be launched. There are many cases when having a visual support can facilitate the task for the presenter and help him make sure that the audience understands what he means. For this project, I will explore two modules of the book that explain very useful features of PowerPoint for my future career. Module 4 on information graphics and Module 5 on collaborating on a presentation. The integration of information graphics, which is the topic explored in Module 4, is very useful in the business field since it can help provide visual support to numerical data. In business, especially in accounting and finance, numbers are very important information. However, when it comes the time to interpret them and explain their meaning to others, numbers do not instantly trigger the desired reaction from the audience. That is where the information graphic feature in PowerPoint brings an important advantage to the presenter. For example, if I want to propose a project to an investor and I just give him a huge amount of numbers and let him read and interpret them by himself, he might not be interested and think I made few efforts. However, if I integrate the important numerical data into my PowerPoint presentation and turn it into an organized graphic that separates the information logically, I have a better chance to get the desired reaction from the investor in front of me. As the famous proverb says, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and we could probably also say that a graphic is worth 1,000 numbers. Collaborating on a presentation. We all know how teamwork and collaboration is important in the business field. Working in groups is always better because it brings more idea, more creativity, and can help prevent errors by reviewing each other's work. The function explored in Module 5 exactly responds to that particular need and allows teamwork to be done easily and efficiently. Indeed, in this module, we learn how to use the many collaborative functions that Microsoft PowerPoint offers to its users. The collaborative tools available on PowerPoint allows the members of a group to modify and update a given presentation, which can be very useful for someone working in business. For example, suppose that 3 people are doing a project proposal to a potential client, but they have to work separately to be more efficient and respect their deadlines. Each member can comment on the initial presentation, and the changes can then be accepted or rejected to end up with a fully reviewed presentation. Whether you nominate one person to enter the ideas your employees offer, or allow each person to take the keyboard at the system running the software, you can treat PowerPoint like a whiteboard and save the results for further review and refinement. The previous statement says a lot about the wide range of possibilities that the collaborative tools of PowerPoint offer to its users. This software, even as easy and simple as it might seem to be, provides a lot of time-saving features that are absolutely essential to be aware of in the business sector. In conclusion, even if PowerPoint is a rather simple software in the business Microsoft Office Suite, it can make a difference when it comes to first impressions. Having a professional presentation is important to keep a good image towards potential clients, investor, or any other stakeholder of the company represented.